Hi everyone and welcome back to a new vlog. This week I'm just going to do a weekly vlog, so each day I'll show you sort of the gardens that I'm going to be working on and then show you sort of like a before and after. So it's like more behind the scenes with a few clips of gardening mixed in. I'm just sort of giving things a go and seeing what you like and what you prefer. So today it is Monday the 3rd of March. Today I've got four gardening jobs that I'd like to get done. I've already done one. I didn't film any of that. I didn't film like being there just because it was my gran and granddad's and there's very little to do there. It's just a case of cutting the grass. It takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to do that. I spend more time talking to my gran and granddad than I do actually doing the garden, so I didn't see the point with that, but that is done. I'm now at my second one, which I'll give you a quick tour of before I get started. You've seen me at this job plenty of times, so I will link those videos up in the corner or in the description box below if you do want to check them out. And then the third job after this one is next door. They share the same driveway, so I mean that's not very big, but I can show you that if I get to it. And then there's the last one, the fourth job that I really do want to try and get done today. It's the client's birthday around the beginning of March, but I always try and like to get her garden tidied before her birthday or on her birthday, so it's nice for her birthday. But the thing is with that, I say ideally I'd like to get 4 jobs done, with it being the first tidy round of the season on these jobs, so it's the first time I've been back here for 2025. So it always takes that little bit longer on the first visit back on a new season. So this second job on average takes me about 4 hours to tidy. So it might still take me 4 hours, but knowing how that it's the first time back, it might take up to like 5 to 6. So I might not get all 4 gardens done today, but that's my plan. Right, get the dog sorted and I'll get cracking. Whoops, get the step out for her. Open this door. Wait there, Bills. It's this whole thing now where I have to sort a long line. She'll only be having one long line on today just because the driveway that I'm parked on, and there is every so often cars that do use it, so put that in there. So I'll put her on a shorter line and then she can still come out if she wants to, but she can't get too far and put herself in danger. Right. Come on. Oh, what's the matter? What's with the little face? What do we do with this? Come down here. Really? I brought that step for you and you just completely ignored it. Bit of getting used to it. Right, these are our old house balls, so I'll shove these in. I'll also give her a cow hoof and she can have a chew of that if she wants it. Right, that's Billy set up and I can carry on and get the garden sorted. So what I need today, all I'll need I think is just my bucket of tools. So I take all this out. Oh yeah, heavy bucket, take that out. I've got my kneeling pad, my big bucket, secateurs. I don't think I'll need them, but what I'll do with these is just attach them to my trousers in case I do. And then my garden claw, garden trowel, my gloves. So I've currently finished all the weeding of this job. This is the second job still. I've just given it all a quick leaf blow, but I'll show you what I've weeded through. So all this board has been raked. There wasn't too many weeds, so it didn't take too long. What else? This rose garden. It's had a good rake through. I've weeded along here. These ones up here. I've also given this one a good rake through and a bit of a quick tidy around. I think it took me about an hour to do this big border. Quite a few weeds in there. Take you around this way. Yeah, this is this section. I've also done all the way behind there, but I don't want to walk all the way back on the garden again, so. And then tidied this bit. I think this took me about an hour, but there was these little tiny weeds that were a bit of a nightmare to get out. Right, so I'm just about to leave my second job to get to my third job. I'll probably drop Bailey off at home first. This next job I want to try and get it done as soon as possible because I've got to be finished at 4:30 and it's now 2:45. It'll just be easier to just drop her off at home for that little bit of time. Let's go. Well, so far so good. The van isn't bleeping at me like it was on the way up to the second job. See, it's bleeping at me again. I don't know why it bleeps. Right, so the bleeping stopped. Oh, that's a whole... Whee! Just missed it. Why is it that every time you drive on a country lane, there's a massive pothole on the side of the road? And every time you get to it, there's always a car coming the opposite direction, so you struggle to avoid it. I wonder why it bleeps. See, the indicators are working now. Right, so I'm just going to go drop Bailey off and then I will get back to you. Okay, so I've just dropped Bailey off and I'm just pulling up to my next job, my final job of the day. It's nearly 3 o'clock, so I've got till about 4:30 to get it done. This job usually takes me anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours, but with it being the first time, it'll probably take me a bit longer than that, so I'm just pulling up now. Final job. I'm just gonna cut this grass, trim, cut, edge, and then weed through. It's there as well. Quick rake of the borders. It's not growing too much and there's not many weeds, so I'm hoping it won't take me that long. It's just this lawn to cut, edged, weedy through that border there, and cut along here, and then there's just a few borders up there that need doing. But it's not looking too bad. It's not growing too fast, and there's not many weeds, so hopefully about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I should be done.
ships coming in. The sun rose up right above the highway. Black, blue, red, yellow, golden skyway. It's like the day that you jumped into the wind. I can't go back down to that water again. These old muddy shoes keep on walking the streets. Someone cried by an Egyptian sheets. The window display of some little store in town. There's my reflection against the morning light. Hello, Mr. Ghost, Mr. Skeleton White. You better comb your hair, you better wipe that George clay off your brow. You better stand up straight, man, these people hardly recognize you now. Lord, carry me like a sailing ship. Comfort me before I slip around the dark side of the moon. All this spinning around hurts my head. I just sit here lonesome for you. There's a million things I would rather do instead. I know it takes a lot to change a great mind. And I know it takes a year to see one summertime. But I made a nails man, made a tombstone, tall, tall tree. The tombstone fades, the nails will rust. All those trees, they all turn to dust. Every day it's so slow, you can't even see. I guess I'll try to find another thing to be. Lord, carry me like a sail.
I'm done with this garden, so it took me just shy of 2 hours. It's all been cut and edged, and the borders have been weeded through. And that one, beautiful little tates there. Yeah, so this one's cut, leaf blown, and it's such a shame with this section here. It's really dropped even more so. It's been 2 months since I was here, so the last time I was here was December, and it's obviously March. And it's dropped down even more. Like the grass is even coming away even further, even more so than before. And that wall's going over. Just look at it. Even the fence is leaning really far out. My dad and my brother are actually coming this week, hopefully, to try and sort something out with this. I don't really know what they're going to do because the whole ground is moving, but I think they're going to try and make it safer. But yeah, if you are new here and you've not seen me at this garden before, and basically what's happening is there's a stream all the way down there, and the whole garden is just sliding away down into the valley. Basically, it's a massive valley that is, so the whole garden's just sliding down there. This has happened over a period of 15 years, so if you want to know what it was like before, this section here, this grass, was level with that. So it was all level, even the fence. So the fence was even higher, but it's all just started sliding down. But it's just fallen that much, which is a shame really, because I don't really know what you can do without it costing an absolute fortune. But it's dropped. I can't believe how much it's dropped now. Even just stepping down on from there to there, that's like a foot or so. But yes, but this is the back garden done. And I'll show you the front. And this is the front garden. It's all cut, and the borders have been weeded through. It's what it looks like up here. And leaf blown as well. I've not cut it too short, so it hasn't really taken much off. And it's all ready for a birthday. Right, I'll speak to you in the van. Okay, so that's me done. I finished a bit later than what I wanted. It's currently 4:45. I mean, it's not too bad, but I've got visitors coming at 5, so I need to get back quick. Yeah, that's job's done. There was one job I didn't get done today, and I've just got to finish another one off, which will probably just take me about an hour. So I'll do them tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going home now, and I'll speak to you soon. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, and I've just currently arrived at my first gardening job of the day. That's before I go and finish off the job from yesterday. This one's not very big, it's a back garden, there's no front garden to this one. I'm going to be, hopefully if I can get the holotiner through the garage, I'm going to holotine, cut the lawn, edge it and weed through. So I'll give you a little introduction, I'll show you around, and then I'll get everything set up and carry on. Okay, so this is the garden all tidied. I'm not going to walk on it because I've just cleaned up, tried to rinse off this patio, so I want to keep off the grass because it is quite muddy. But it's been holotined, cut, edged, and then a quick rake through. Well, that's this garden done. Now on to my next one. Now moving on to my next job. I did find out what that bleeping was that my van was making yesterday. I'm a fool sometimes. Basically, it was the seatbelt light bleeping at me because nothing was showing up on my dashboard to say what was wrong, and I didn't look up. And up on the where like the rear view mirror would be, there's a seatbelt sign thing that flashes if you've not got your seatbelt on. Well, obviously I did have my seatbelt on, but silly me had clipped my seatbelt into the wrong buckle. So I'd fastened it into this seat, this buckle for this middle seat. So it was bleeping at me, telling me I hadn't got my seatbelt on when I had. It was just in the wrong one. Honestly, sometimes I do have moments like that, and I do wonder sometimes how I do get through the day. Well, anyway, luckily that was all it was. It was nothing serious. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to now make my way to the next job. Right, so I'm just coming up to my second job, which is basically just finishing off from yesterday. The garden that didn't get done yesterday. All it is planting, so probably an hour. So that job that I've just been to, that first garden, it holds a lot of water. It gets very, very wet. It's at the bottom of a hill, So all the water just sort of obviously drains down the hill, and where those houses are, it kind of just congregates. It holds water. I've given it a whole time just to see if that will help it drain a bit better. They have Leylandii hedges, or a hedge at the back, and you know how wet the ground is when the Leylandii hedge, the conifer hedge, struggles to soak it all up. If you know Leylandii, you know that they drink water, and it's always very dry underneath where Leylandii hedges are, but not with this garden. So what I have to do, I always leave it a few days after it rains just to give the garden a chance to dry up, because sometimes I can go there and it's underwater, like there's puddles on the lawn. That's how wet it can get. We've had over a week, I think it's been now, of dry weather. Can't really ask any more than that. So I've got it done, and we'll see what happens with it. But I'm now at my second job. Sort Burley out again, and then yeah, I'll get planting. Probably going to fill in, see how there's like a gap there, I'll fill that in, and there's like one or two that have died off, so I'll replace them. These are the shrubbery. That'll be replacing what you saw down there with those decorative hedges. That will grow in there, and then over time I can trim it and it will grow into the same. Okay, so they're all replanted. I put a couple there, 2 in there just to fill those gaps, and then just 1 in there. So I'm just going to give them more water now, and then this job is now finished. So I'm now currently at my 3rd job. So all we've got to do is just this little border here, and then there's a bit around the back as well. So I'm just going to weed through it. We've got a few bulbs growing in, so I might get some more for them, get some more spring flowers. But currently I'm just going to weed through. Okay, the next section is just this little back garden area. It's a very shaded area, so I need to find plants that like being in the shade and will flower. But yeah, that's just this bit, a bit of weeding, cutting back and digging out what I think needs digging out. Right, I'll carry on. Right, so I just had a chat with the client, and the winter jasmine doesn't hardly flower, so I've dug the winter jasmine out and I've dug the pyracanthes. So now all that's on here is the clematis and the rose. This year I'm going to just see what they do, how well they flower, before deciding whether to replace them or add something else to it. But this is all weeded, so this back area is all done. I'm just going to go to the nursery later on this week and buy a few plants. Not many, probably more primroses, sort of spring flowering, just to add a bit of colour to this area. But yeah, that's all this is. But this part of the garden we're fighting against, there's all these trees, so it's constantly in the shade. Right, I'll show you around the front. Right, this is this front garden, or border tidied up. Just giving it a rake through, and then I've leaf blown all around the patio and picked that off. I think for this front board I'm just going to buy a couple of spring bedding plants, so seasonal, maybe some primroses just to add a splash of colour, and I might even add a heuchera to that little section there, because heucheras are always nice. But hopefully I can get them at the end of the week and come back and get them planted. That's what that looks like. Right, now it's time for dinner. Right, so I'm just having my lunch. It's just turned 1 o'clock. The next job doesn't take me very long, because all I do is just cut the grass, but this time I'm going to be holotining, so that's probably going to take me a little bit longer. So I might be there an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then after that I don't really know where I'm going. I'll sort of figure that out after. And there's a couple of jobs I've got in mind, but I don't quite know how it's going to pan out, so I'll figure that out when I've done that job. But now I'm having my dinner, and I think that's it. Oh, This job that I've just been, I started at the end of last year, so the first visit was December last year, and I think he basically wants me to, he's quite happy for me to dig it all out and start again with plants, but I said, oh, rather than doing that, let me just spend this season seeing what grows and, you know, what plants you have got in your garden, seeing what bulbs you've got, and then I can add to it or take away from it as the season progresses. I've noticed around the front there's a lot of good shrubs in the front, so I'm definitely going to leave them in. I might add a few spring bedding and summer bedding when the time's right for them, just to add a bit of another splash of colour. And then round the back I'm going to see this year what happens. Just a bit of a learning curve, that one, but we'll see. I need to go to the nursery and have a look. I'll take you with me. Hopefully it'll be the end of this week. It might even be tomorrow, depending on how my day goes tomorrow, but I will let you know when that happens. Right, that's it. I'm going to have my dinner and then I'm going to go on to my next job. Right, I'll speak to you in a minute. Right, change of plan. The next job that I was going to go to, I can't park outside, there's loads of cars parked outside, so I'm going to have to skip that one for another day. They don't have a driveway or anything, so all the cars park out the front. Usually I can park quite easily, it's not an issue, but they've had the house next door has recently been sold, so I think they've now moved in and they've obviously got their cars outside, and also it seems like there's a couple of cars visiting, I don't know where, but they wouldn't normally be there, so I can't park. And I think I've got another job in mind that I'm going to go to, and then I'll take it from there where I'm going to go to after that. So yeah, I just thought I'd give you an update. I'm moving on to another job. This is the next garden. I wasn't supposed to be doing this one today. Well, I might have done it later on, but like I said, I couldn't get to that other garden, so I'm going to holotine it first, cut it, edge it, give it a quick flirt around with the garden claw, and then this garden is now complete. I've holotined, cut the grass, edged the lawn, and then I've just quickly given the borders a rake through. I've not gone too crazy with weeding through the borders. All the spring bulbs and some plants have started to come through. As you can see, there's loads in here. So I want you to be very careful, try and not dig any of them or break any of them off. But that's what it looks like after. It's not too much of a difference, but like I say, this time of year it never normally is because all the spring stuff are coming through, so there's never too much to do in the borders. Right, I'm packed up and now I need to find out where I'm going to go. Probably going to leave you here for today because I haven't got much charge left on my battery and I haven't got any extra. The client I've just been to, I sort of have known her for a good while, many years, and I went into her and just had a chat and a cup of tea. She's quite lonely, she doesn't leave the house at all. She's housebound, so I just went and spent a bit of time with her and made her a brew and just sat and had a chat with her. So yeah, that's that done. I need to quickly ring a couple of clients just to organise when to go. So that'll be it for today, for this vlog, and I'll see you tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. Good morning everybody, it is Wednesday, 5th of March. I'm currently just turned up at my first job. It's not very big, it's just cutting the front lawn and the back lawn, but I do have to write them an invoice, so I'm just getting that filled in now. So far today I've got 3 jobs that I want to get done, and I also want to go to a plant nursery as well. Plant nursery, yeah, but look at some plants for the garden that I was at yesterday. And then this afternoon me and my dad should be working together. There's a client who has a willow tree that she just wants trimming, but also she wants me dad to look at a patio. Dad's on a landscaping job this morning. It's only small. He is hopefully going to have it finished today. After my third job, which will probably take me, these 3 jobs will probably take me till about 1 or 2ish. I'm going to have to give him a ring, find out where he's at, go from there really. But that's my plan so far this morning, 3 jobs and to go to the plant nursery. I used to work at the plant nursery that I'm going to for work experience when I was at college. So it'll either be a quick visit or I might be there for an hour. I'm going to get started with this first job. I've got this to post through. I'll show you around. This one shouldn't take too long, it's not growing so much, so yeah, probably half hour maybe at this one. So get started, speak to you in a bit. Bye. The front garden, like I say, it's just cutting the grass. Hasn't grown much, so it shouldn't take me too long, but I'm around this area, so I want to get it done today rather than come back next week. And then this is the back lawn. Like I say, not too much, just cutting it, and that's it. First job completed. You know what, I forgot to take an after clip so you can see what it looks like afterwards, but I have been here before and I have filmed it for YouTube, so I'll link that video up if you do want to check it out and see. It gives you an idea of what it looks like when it's done. The sun's coming out. A bit chillier today, although it is warming up. Now I'm going on to my second job, which is just round the corner. This one, again, it's just grass cutting the front and the back. However, sometimes I get issues with parking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive past. If I can park outside, then like outside the front, then I will stop and do it. But if I can't, the plant nursery is just down the road. So if I can't park out the front, I will go straight to the plant nursery and see what they've got and then come back to the second job. So that's the plan. And this second job, we've recently had new neighbours, and the neighbour has 5 cats. And those cats have decided to use my client's garden, the lawn, as a toilet. So it's just covered in cat muck. So it's an absolute nightmare to try and get that all tidied. I'll probably have to either pick it all up or go around it depending on how much is on there. Before the neighbour moved in, there was never any cat muck on the lawn, so I've added 2 and 2 and came up with it must be her cats. I just know the lawn's just going to be absolutely covered in it, and I'm not looking forward to it. But the only good thing is I don't have to go there that often. It's usually once a month or so that I go, so swings and roundabouts at the end of the day, isn't it? Right, so I think that's that. I'm going to move on to my next job. Oh, I don't think I can I? It doesn't look like I can park outside. I'll park down the side. I'll go to the nursery first, and then maybe I can park out the front after. We've got quite a few things in, that's good. I'll show you around anyway. Okay, so I've just been to the nursery. They didn't really have much in. I was going to get a few primulas, but I wanted to get some heucheras and some other things as well, but they haven't really got any of them. So what I might do is leave. I've left them, I've not brought him, and go to another nursery a different time. There's no rush for him. I just thought it'd be nice to get some in now. I don't know, I'll have a think about it. I may come back if I change my mind and get these few primulas. Right, I better go to my second job. So this is the third garden. See, all I do here is just weed through the borders at the front. So it's just weeding through here. She has somebody else that cuts the grass, but they don't tidy borders. But yeah, so I'm going to be weeding through all this. Right, to barely set up. I've just had a drink on a little chocolate bar because I'm starving. Kneeling pad. what I need. So I'm having a few issues with the GoPro. I've been here about an hour, well, an hour and a half now nearly. I'll make a note of that. I've still got a couple of hours left at this job. I gave you a bit of a walkthrough. It is basically just weeding. I'm having my dinner. The second job, I didn't film too much. I just sort of filmed or took photos of before and after. I ended up spending about 10 minutes picking up the cat muck. Bill's face. Picking up the cat muck on the front lawn just because there was that much of it. If I just went around it, it'd look a mess. I spent more time talking to the client because I haven't seen him for a while. He is a family friend, so we just had a bit of a catch up. This one, I just basically go through the borders. She does have a bloke that comes and cuts the grass. I don't think he's been yet. But he doesn't go through the borders. Her friend, who is also a client of mine, gave her my number. So she's asked me if I can just keep on top of the borders. I just focus on the front garden. I don't look at the back. There's not really much to it. There's just mainly big shrubs and hedges and things. So there's not really much in the way of borders. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to carry on having my dinner, get cracking. I've rang my dad. He's on track to finish in time for this other job this afternoon. It's all a bit up in the air this afternoon. I don't really know what will be filmed and what won't, but I shall let you know when I know more. Bailey's looking at me a little bit of sandwich. She'll have a crisp. I'll give her a crisp after. But yeah, so yeah, see you in a bit. It is lovely and warm. It's about 15 degrees Celsius. Yeah, it's been a while since we've felt the heat of the sun. In fact, it's been a while since we've seen the sun. Hold on, let's shove these in there. There you go. Right, this garden's now finished. So the borders have been tidied, weeded through. I've not cut the edges of the lawn because the grass hasn't been cut yet. It's this bit. Whenever he comes and cuts the grass, the next time I come, if it hasn't been edged, then I'll just do it while I'm here. But yeah, all the persica area has been deadheaded. It's just been raked through and weeded through. Well, that's what it looks like. It's just this bit here. And over there. Right, off to the next one. It's now finished. I'm going now to meet my dad for this next job. I don't know if the camera saved the clip of me talking about this next job, so I'll just go through it again in case it hasn't. Didn't really know what other jobs I'd get done after this third one because I've got a client who has a a little willow tree that needs trimming, and she also wants my dad to have a look at a patio area that she wants. Well, she either wants it relaying or fixing. She had some landscapers in a while ago and they did a really bad job. So Dad's going to go and have a look to see if it's fixable or if he's going to have to redo the whole thing. So I'm going to go now and meet him, and while he's chatting to the client, I'm going to go and aerate, holotine the lawn. She's only got a back lawn, so while they're having a chat I can do that. I'm probably going to end today here. I'm having a right nightmare with this camera. It either cuts out, or when I think it's recording, it's not recording and it hasn't saved the clip, so it's getting on my nerves. So I'm just gonna end today here. The engine's on because I've got the aircon running for Burley, because it is quite warm. It's lovely. It's a lovely day, lovely spring day. It's just nice to feel the heat of the sun for once. It's been a while. This job took me 3 hours. I thought it would probably take me an extra hour than what it would normally. So it's now 2:15 and I'm gonna go meet my dad. And yeah, carry on. I don't know what time I'll finish that other job that we're going to, because we'll probably be there a while having a chat. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this day here, this part here, and I'll probably speak to you tomorrow. Right, speak to you in a bit. Good morning. It is Thursday. I'm just about to head off to work. I'm knackered this morning. I can't really be bothered, but thinking once I get out and about, I think I'll be fine. If not, I'll probably be finishing early today. But I'm heading off to my first job, if I can park. It's the one I was going to go to on Tuesday, but when I drove past I couldn't park. So I'm trying again this morning to see if I can actually park outside. It's a bit of an odd job day today. So today it's either going to be first job, which will be about an hour and a bit because I'm going to holotine. If they're in next door, then I'll probably go and do next door because it'd be silly not to. But that on average takes me 2 hours. However, this visit will probably take me longer because again, it's the first time. And then this other job that I definitely want to go to, which I have to let them know 10-15 minutes before so they can go up to let me in. Then I'll go do that one. That'll probably take me a couple of hours. And then I don't know what time it's going to be after that or where to go after that. But it all depends on how it pans out. If I can't park up here now, then that scuppers those 2 jobs until later on. I've got to kind of move things around then. And it's just, I don't know how it's going to go. I might get lots done or I might get 2 done. I just don't know. Let's get started. Let's get going. It's giving out a nice warm day again today. Getting up to about 15 degrees, which will be lovely. Feels calm at the minute, so that'll be nice, because when we have a bit of wind, the wind is quite cold still. Well, I can park if I turn around. I got so used to being able to just pull up, do the job, not have to worry. Parking here. Right, yeah, so I'm at the job. I'm gonna make a start. I'll see you in a bit. You pinch that out of there, Billy Bear, because I know what you're like, I know what you're thinking. So when my back's turned, you're going to nab a bit of that dead leaves and twigs, aren't you? Yeah, good girl though. Oh yeah. This is called Casimir Lucifer. It has lovely red flowers in the summer. Just taking all the dead out. Right, I've finished the first garden and the neighbour came out to me, so I did that one as well. I know I said I wanted to do the neighbours, but to be fair, I didn't really think I'd get it done today, so it's a proper bonus that I was able to get to it. I've just texted my client for my next job, which is the one where I need to give her a heads up so she can be there to let me in. So I'm going to have my dinner now. Pigeons off me van. The cheek. 2 pigeons have just flown and landed on top of my van. Cheeky monkeys. Anyway, as I was saying, before I got rudely distracted by them pigeons, I'm going to have my dinner. So by the time I've had my dinner, which will be like 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes. Hold on a minute. Tell them, Bills. You tell them. You tell them. How dare they. I'll charge them next time. That was Bailey barking at the pigeons. Anyway, oh gosh, I've lost my chain of thought. What was I saying? I'm going to repeat myself. Yes, I'm going to have my dinner. By the time I've had my dinner, that should give enough time for the lady to go up to my next job and let me in. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll probably catch up with you. Well, I guess it'll be in a minute. Yes, that was the culprit. Landed on my van, right on the roof. Okay, so I'm just pulling speed on. Pulling up to my next job. Nearly there, just around the corner. See if I had a text saying that before I set off that she's there, so I should be fine to get through. Oh, no speed up. Oh gosh. Don't know why you need to speed up there. Whatever. I haven't really decided where I'm going after. Depending on how long it takes me, I might just leave it, and I need to get the greenhouse sorted. I order plug plants every year in about February. That's to sort out summer bedding for clients. They usually come at the end of March, but I've had an email saying that they're coming, some are being delivered this week, and they've actually already come. So at the minute my greenhouse is like a storage shed. I've just shoved loads of stuff in there, I've not even sorted it out, so I actually need to get that sorted so I can get that planted. So I might just, after I've done this, go home and then sort that out. But we'll see. I'm just pulled up at the job. I'm going to have a look around, set Burley up, and then I'll bring you with me. I'll show you what I need to do. Right, I'll speak to you in a bit. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Friday afternoon, about 2:30. I've not filmed too much today because all I've been doing is holotaining. Been no noticeable difference because I've not cut the grass afterwards. They've not wanted me to cut the grass, it's just been holotained. I'm going to actually love and leave you here. This is going to be the end of the vlog. I am working tomorrow, Saturday, with my dad. We work together at, there's a couple of jobs we go to. They are quite far out, but because it's an all day film, we go together. So I don't think I'm going to film too much tomorrow. I might show you some clips, a few little clips or photos of like what we do. All we're doing tomorrow at this job is holotaining, possibly cut the grass if it needs it. Dad's going to cut a few trees. They're only little trees, they're not too big. I'm going to holotain the front lawn. We've already done the back lawn. We did that a few weeks ago when we were last there. And then we'll do a bit of weeding. But we were there a few weeks ago and I made a start. It wasn't looking too bad. You probably won't notice a huge difference tomorrow, but I'll insert some clips or photos or whatever, and then you can sort of see the job. But yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this vlog, this style, slightly different. I actually, to be fair, I didn't think I would, but I did thoroughly enjoy filming this week. just because it's been slightly different. You know, I've just been filming my point of view gardening. It's been fun, it's been entertaining. I didn't think I'd enjoy it. I mean, towards obviously the latter part of the week, there wasn't so many clips and stuff. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I don't know how long it's going to be, if it's going to be like a 20-minute vlog or if it's going to be over 40 minutes, I don't know. But I've included loads of different snippets and clips just to get an idea of what you actually like. You know, if you give me your feedback of what you'd like to see more of, what things worked, what things didn't that you saw in the video, and then I know for future whether to carry on doing this kind of style or just go back to what I was doing before. I'll probably upload a couple of videos of gardening jobs that I did the end of last year, December, just so I get to, just until I figure out what you liked, how to film future videos, I can use those couple of videos as a buffer, and then I can work on, you know, the future videos if the vlog is what you want. Right, I'm gonna love and leave you, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.